Real estate for beginners. Today we're going to talk about where does a deal actually come from, the flow of a deal, and how you can go out and get your first real estate deal coming up. All right, so let's say I'm a real estate agent and I had a seller reach out to me and say, hey, Pace, I want you to list my property for me. I want you to put it on the MLS. Why do we call it listing it? Why do we call it putting it on the market? Well, because it is a market. It is a listing. It is a listing on the market. And so we say, let's put it on the market. It is proven that a seller will typically get more money in their pocket by sending it out to the total market. Instead of just finding one or two people to sell to and negotiating with those one or two people, they broadcast it to a wider audience, and the widest audience is the MLS, the multiple listing service. That's why agents have a tremendous amount of value, because they are the only ones able to put it on this market, okay? Now, if a real estate agent gets a listing from you, they have three choices now, okay? Those three choices are either A, put it directly on the market, boom. That's typically what real estate agents do. B, they can go to a wholesaler or a fix and flipper and say, hey, wholesaler that I like working with, fix and flipper I like working with, I just got a listing from a homeowner. And that listing is beat up, it smells like cat pee, I don't know what to do with it, I'm embarrassed to put it on the market. Can you guys get me a cash offer so I can bring it back to my seller? That is where on-market deals come from, okay? Is that the real estate agent has wholesalers or fix and flippers in their pocket or existing relationships that they just say, hey, I just got a listing, I'm about to put it on the market, but I don't want to because it's in such bad shape. Would you be willing to give me a cash offer that I can bring back to my client? So as a wholesaler and as a fix and flipper, there is a difference. Wholesalers typically just wholesale. Fix and flippers don't really do outreach to sellers. You'll see that the fix and flipper, I call him Flip. Flip has no direct communication with the homeowner. Flip has zero communication with the homeowner, okay? They sit there and their job is to fix and flip houses. They don't have time to do outreach. They don't have time to do marketing. So they typically buy their deals from attorneys, right? Trusted advisors, real estate agents, or wholesalers. So if you're a fix and flipper trying to get into the game, you need one of those three things. You need attorneys to give you referrals, agents to give you deals, or wholesalers to give you deals. Now, agents can either A, put it on the market, like we said, 90% of the time that's what they're doing, or they can sell it to a wholesaler. If they sell it to a wholesaler, wholesaler's always going to wholesale it, and they're gonna ultimately end up selling it to a fix and flipper, okay? Wholesaler sells it to a fix and flipper, the fix and flipper then fix and flips it, and then he puts it on the market after he improves it and cleans it up. Now, an agent. Why would an agent sell to a wholesaler who's just going to sell it to a fix and flipper, when the agent could also just sell it to a fix and flipper? Well, guys, you've heard it before. Your network is your net worth. And the reality is sometimes agents don't have actual fix and flippers in their pocket or in their Rolodex, in their phone. They don't know actual fix and flippers, and they only know wholesalers. Do you know why? It's because wholesalers are so much better about networking than fix and flippers ever will be. Fix and flippers typically are out on construction sites. They're out managing crews. They're out picking up materials for their crews. They don't have time to build these relationships. And so a lot of times the agent's only choice is to sell a property through a wholesaler, okay? Wholesaler assigns it to the fix and flipper does the fix and flip, and ultimately lists it on the MLS. Now, back to a wholesaler. So wholesalers, if the wholesaler is doing outreach, cold calling, texting, driving for dollars, knocking doors, whatever the outreach to that seller is, they ultimately get a contract. If that wholesaler has a really big buyer's list, they can typically sell it to a fix and flipper direct. Now, when you don't have a big buyer's list, you typically will go as one wholesaler to another wholesaler and say, I don't have somebody to buy my deal I just contracted. I need your help to offload and sell my deal for me, and I will pay you what you can make it whatever you want on top of this, okay? So This is actually where a company like a Keegley comes in, okay? Keegley is a dedicated wholesaler who helps existing wholesalers find a buyer. That is where they make their money. They make their money as the middleman for wholesalers who don't have a strong buyers list. Ultimately, Keegley is going to sell it to a fix and flipper. That fix and flipper then again puts it on the market. That's what happens. People end up putting everything on the market. Again, very quickly, seller sells to a wholesaler, if they have a big buyers list or they have a great deal, they sell it to a fix and flipper. Now, you might be watching this and saying, how do I build a buyers list? Guys, we have those videos. We've done these videos. We can show you exactly how to build a buyers list so you can sell it directly to the flips of the world. And if you don't have a big buyers list, but you got a contract, I would suggest just reaching out to Keegley and selling your deal to Keegley so that Keegley can go and sell it to a cash buyer. And ultimately that cash buyer, which also is a fix and flipper, can then sell it to a family on the MLS, okay? Now, going back to seller to a trusted advisor, it's the same exact process here as it is with a real estate agent. A real estate agent, depending on the network and the relationship, if I'm an attorney and I have a lot of cash buyers, which attorneys don't typically have a lot of cash buyers, they typically have a lot of wholesalers. Why? They have a lot of wholesalers because the wholesalers are spending all their time networking and building their Rolodex and building their network while everybody is out busy on job sites. So typically, I teach people how to do this all the time. As a wholesaler, go build 5 or 6 key relationships with attorneys. Those attorneys will continue to feed you deal after deal after deal the rest of your life. This is an automated referral business that it's crazy. We probably make an average of $25,000 per deal every time an attorney brings us an opportunity, and we just end up selling it to a fix and flipper, okay? So everything comes down to these 4 ways the deal gets done. Now, this 4th way bypasses everybody. And what does that tell you? That tells you that this seller in this situation has absolutely zero pain. They have zero pain. They don't have a timeline. They don't have financial distress. They don't have something that you as an investor can solve. So people tell me all the time, oh, I call FSBOs. Okay, FSBO is an acronym that stands for For Sale by Owner, FSBO. And I go, oh my gosh, you call in FSBOs? Like, those people obviously have no pain. They didn't want an agent to make money. They didn't want an investor to make money. They didn't want a trusted advisor to make money. They wanted nobody to make money, so they decided to bypass the entire investment circle and go directly to the market themselves. I don't have a fun time calling those people because I realize I don't have a lot to offer to them, okay? Now, as a wholesaler doing cash, that is the case. But if you understand creative finance, you now can solve their pain by giving them the number they want and utilizing subject to or seller finance. So if you guys want to learn more about subject to or seller finance, I've got multiple videos down in the links below talking about what is subject to, what is seller finance, okay? So ultimately the deal hits the market, right? Fix and flipper is always going to fix and flip it. Maybe the agent put it directly in the market. Maybe the seller put it directly in the market themselves, or even sometimes the wholesaler will go directly to the market also. We call that wholetailing. I get a deal from a seller. I immediately turn around and throw it on the market, and that is called a wholetail, okay? So house is on the market. Now you've got to insert another agent. You've got an agent representing a family, okay? And this family goes out, they get pre-qualified, which means they find out how much they can get qualified for from a lender. Like we call them LOs, loan officers or loan originators. A loan originator, maybe at Bank of America, Chase, Quicken Loans, one of these places, says, hey family, you guys are qualified up to $400,000 to go buy a house. So they tell the agent, hey agent, we can go buy a house up to $400,000. That agent then starts putting a search in, and they find all the houses available on the market that have recently been fix and flip by all of our friends Flip here, or has been put on the market from another agent, or has been put on the market directly from the seller themselves in a FSBO situation. So that realtor then is called a buyer's agent because they're representing the buyer, okay? Every once in a while, somebody who likes to use the BRRRR strategy will be looking on the MLS for their deals. This is such a small segment of the market, but so many people talk about this. You'll see this on Bigger Pockets. You'll see this book after book after book has been written about the BRRRR strategy. And while we do use the BRRRR strategy once or twice a year, we find that most of the people getting deals and utilizing the BRRRR strategy, which means buy, renovate, rent, repeat, they are not buying the best deals because they are not directly communicating with the seller. The closer you get in communication with the seller, the better the deal you will get. The deeper you go into that relationship, maybe a real estate agent is involved, then it goes to a wholesaler, then it goes on the market, whatever. Yes, you might be able to get some deals, but you're not getting the deepest discounted deals. The people who get the best deals are always going to be the wholesaler. The wholesaler is always going to get the best deal, and the closer that wholesaler is directly communicating with the seller, no agent involved, no other wholesaler involved, that wholesaler gets the best deal. This channel is all about helping you get into wholesale, helping you get into creative finance, and at the end of the day, I want you guys to learn how to become this person. I want you to learn how to play this role with agents. I want you to learn how to play this role where you're directly communicating with sellers. I want you to learn how to play this role as a wholesaler communicating with attorneys. I even want you to learn how to communicate with the sellers who are selling the houses on the market that don't have any pain. That is what this channel is all about, is teaching you how to get more deals, scaling your lifestyle, and ultimately quitting your job. So, one thing, if you guys want to see me and my team actually putting these things into action, my partners and I started a brand new business with no resources, no leads, nothing, no connections whatsoever, and we started and got our first real estate deal in 8 days in a brand new market, of which we're making $30,000 on. So if you guys want to see us actually do the business, literally step by step in live videos, there's a link down below for zerotoherorei.com. REI standing for real estate investing. zerotoherorei.com. You will see literally how to start an LLC, how to find leads, how to talk to sellers, how to communicate, how to build an automated business so you can quit your 9-to-5 job. So if you're interested in that, click on that link below, go see those recordings. It's a game-changing experience to see other people actually doing it. And in the meantime, please give me some feedback. Did I go too fast? Is there anything that I left out? Is there anything you want me to deeper dive on? Because I'll take one section, one fragment of this video, and we'll deep dive on it so that you can ultimately understand it. And if this gave you any value, please make a comment down below and tell me what you got value from. And as always, guys, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you in the next video.